प्रेम से बोलो श्री गुरु महाराज की जय हो. Jai Sitaram, the devotees, Swagatam. Welcome back to Sooryoday, a Thursday morning simulcast on Radio and TV Jaagriti with your Shri Pandit Shiva Janak Maharaj. Another beautiful day it is here in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. And this morning, dear devotees, we take in our topic and in our theme for today, we take a little digression from the religious aspects of the celebrations that we are in the midst of celebrating as we begin to prepare for Mahashivaratri, which is the next major observance that we will have around the world in Sanatan Dharam, their devotees. However, this morning and today, the 21st of February, is a very, very important day that we need to be aware of, and so we will help and join along with the world as we celebrate an international day today, dear devotees. And without telling you much more about what today we will be celebrating, we'll go into our first little segment or video that we have. It's not a song, however, it explains what today we will be, our topic for today that we will be speaking of and putting it in context of Sanatan Dharam and Hinduism. Prem Savoro Shri Saraswati Mata Ki Jai, Shivani Mata Ki Jai Ho.
We all speak the same language when we're born, but as we grow, we learn to understand, speak, think in our own language. It is so integrated part of being human that we often forget to realize the importance of mother tongue. We take it for granted that we will be able to use our language freely as we want. But not so long ago, not too far away, people gave their lives for their right to use their mother tongue. Yes, that happened, and that's where the story behind International Mother Language Day starts. 1947, Pakistan was born with two geographically separated sections, East Pakistan, West Pakistan, and India in between. 1948, Pakistan government declared Urdu to be the only state language of Pakistan, even though more than half of the population, almost 44 million people, were Bengali speaking. This sparked extensive protests among the Bengali-speaking majority of East Bengal, which reached its peak in 1952. The government outlawed public meetings and rallies. 21st February 1952. The students of the University of Dhaka and other political activists defied the ban and organized a protest. Police opened fire in front of Dhaka medical students, killing several students. Their sacrifice gave out our right to use Bangla, fueled by this movement following 9-month-long liberation war. Subsequently, in 1971, East Pakistan became the country currently known as Bangladesh. The name of this country is based on the language name Bangla plus Dash. Dash means country in Bangla. In 1999, UNESCO declared 21st February as International Mother Language Day in tribute to the language movement and the ethno-linguistic rights of people around the world.
Savor Shivani Devi Mata Ki Jai Ho. Jai Sitaram, dear devotees, Swagatam. Welcome back to Sooryoday. And this morning, as you would have just heard in that very informative video, dear devotees, the history of how we came about with this day, the International Mother Language Day, dear devotees. And mother languages are very important to many of us. It's part of our identity. When I visited India in 2005, that is where I realized that we don't speak English as we would like to believe. Many Trinidadians believe we speak English because that's our formal language. British English is our formal language. However, we do have our indigenous language, our own mother tongue, and it's actually one of the most recognized accents and languages. It's known as the Creole, dear devotees, because of our many mixtures of the different people that came here and settled in Trinidad and Tobago, that we have this very unique accent and language with our very own vocabulary and lexicon, dear devotees. However, as we speak of International Mother Language Day, we must recognize that it's part of our identity and be proud of it, dear devotees, because it is very recognized according to BBC. We have one of the most wanted accents in the world, being Trinidadians. And so it says on the website of the UNESCO website, the official site, it says the idea to celebrate International Mother Language Day was the initiative of Bangladesh, as you heard there, of the sacrifices that these university students would have made for their language that they have, which was a part of their identity and their culture. You see, dear devotees, we would have grown and we would have heard, and we must teach our children especially these words: Bhesh, Bhasha, Bhojan. Bhesh is your clothing, your dress. Bhasha, language, that's what we're speaking about. And Bhojan, your food. Also, your bhajan, your music, and your bhavan, the way you live your life at home, the devotees in your homes. These are all very important parts, integrated parts of your culture, and you must hold on to your culture. So, bhasha is a very important part of culture. So it continues to say, it was approved at the 1999 UNESCO General Conference and has been observed throughout the world since 2000, in the turn of the millennium. UNESCO believes in the importance of cultural and linguistic diversity for sustainable societies. It is within the mandate for peace that it works to preserve the differences in cultures and languages that foster tolerance and respect for others. Saraswati Mata ki jai. You see, dear devotees, by celebrating the diversity, there is unity in diversity. By celebrating and respecting one another's own cultures and our languages, there is going to be unity and peace. And this is what the whole trust of UNESCO, their devotees, United Nations, as they try to bring the world as one big happy family. It says linguistic diversity is increasingly threatened as more and more languages disappear. Globally, 40% of the population does not have access to an education in a language they speak or understand. Nevertheless, progress is being made in mother tongue-based multilingual education by growing understanding of its importance, particularly in the early schooling, and more commitment to its development in public life. You see, that it is very important to maintain our own cultural language, and this is why I made mention that we don't speak British English in Trinidad and Tobago. We have our own lexicon, we have our own language, we have our own accents, considered to be one of the most sought after accents according to BBC. And as we speak our language, our own language, which is known as the Creole, which could, because of the influences of all the different languages and those people who would have settled here in Trinidad and Tobago, it has made us who we are. It's part of our identity, and we must always remember that. So part of our own bhasha, our own language of being Trinidadian, is part of our identity, their devotees. Even in Trinidad, we have our own bhojan as well, which is not the topic this morning, like our doubles and so forth. However, language is a very integral part of our culture and our diversity. And so in many parts of the world, we have so many languages that are being lost, as we see here, especially the indigenous people and those people who, because of poverty and so forth, they are tricked into changing their languages and forgetting their culture. And so over time, they are forgotten and they are gone forever. So, dear devotees, let us enjoy this song. It's in English, so that we can understand and enjoy a little more about what this International Mother Language Day is. Prem Saborshi Saraswati Mata ki jai, Shivani Mata ki jai. Prim Sor Shivani Devi Mata Ki Jai Ho Jai Sitaram their devotees Swagatam. Welcome back to Sooryoday, and this morning we are discussing International Mother Language Day, and in this most important day, which is actually celebrated today, the 21st of February, their devotees every year since the year 2000, and we are building the awareness of it. And why is it important that we recognize our mother language? And while the mother language of Trinidad and Tobago is the Creole, or the mix of all those different languages that existed here in Trinidad and Tobago, mother language, we must recognize, also helps to preserve religions, and for us as Hindus, their devotees, if we know the Katha, or if we remember that when our ancestors came to Trinidad and Tobago, there was only one religious scripture that they brought with them, and they lied and said it was a love story, and that was the Sri Ram Charitamanas. However, if we read the opening verses of the Ram Charitamanas, and you read of the history of Tulsidas Ji and why he wrote that Sri Ram Charitamanas, you remember that the original Ramayana, or that which was written by Valmiki Ji, was written in Sanskrit. Now, as we are speaking about linguistic diversity, we must recognize that, many years ago when I was in university at UTT, the University of Trinidad and Tobago, and we were learning in our Bachelor's of Education program, we learned in our linguistics course that all languages came from that language which is known as the Indo-European language. What was that? When you look at the symbols and you hear the songs, their devotees, it's very similar, if not the same, as not claimed by. It was Sanskrit, their devotees. So in other words, the mother of all languages was Sanskrit. However, 500 years ago, or thereabout, in the time of Sri Tulsidas Ji, their devotees, he learned Sanskrit. He learned the Valmiki Ramayana. He learned the love of Bhagwan Sri Ram, Bhakti to Sri Ram. However, he wanted everyone to experience that. However, they couldn't read Sanskrit. So, what Tulsidas Ji, their devotees, he took the Ramayana and he wrote it in his own mother language. You see how important mother language is? The mother language of the people of Uttar Pradesh. And it says there, he wrote it in that Awadhi language, which is a Devanagari script, that is. This says here, in a major dialect of the Eastern Hindi branch of Indo-Aryan languages spoken in northern India. It is primarily spoken in Awadh, in the Awadh region, which is in Uttar Pradesh, where it is said connected to Ayodhya and Bhagwan Sri Ram, the place where Sri Ram was there. So he took it and he wrote it in the language of the people, in the mother tongue or the mother language of the people. And so they all were able to read and understand and build that bhakti for Bhagwan. Remember, as we said, bhakti, we must remind ourselves of our bhesh, bhasha, bhojan. Bhasha is our language. We must maintain our language. So our part of our religious identity also comes from that mother tongue of that Awadhi language, devotees, that we learn from our ancestors that they brought here with us, and we learn it through the Sri Ram Charitamanas, their devotees. And so, their devotees, understanding that, let us now listen to another track, another song for this very special day. This is in the Bengal language, devotees, as we know that this is the place in Bangladesh where International Mother Language Day started. So this track that we're going to listen to is based on that observance of International Mother Language Day. Prim Sor Shivani Devi Mata Ki Jai Ho. Savoroshi Vani Devi Mata Ki Jai Ho. Jai Sitaram devotees, Swagatam. Welcome back to Sooryoday. And this morning, a very interesting topic. It's the first time I'm discussing this topic with you after so many years of Sooryoday being live on Radio and TV Jaagriti. And it's called International Mother Language Day, dear devotee. An International Mother Language Day. We have discussed thus far our own language, Trini language that we speak, dear devotees. That is part of our local identity of being Trinidadians and Tobagoians. And we also spoke of our religious language, which we have being brought down, that being both Sanskrit, the mother of all languages, and also that our Hindi, which is our ancestors spoke. Alright, dear devotees, and so this is why now language and the mother tongue that we all speak and are part of our cultural identity. Lastly, in Sanatan Dharam, we have a goddess, we have a Devi who I've been praising all morning, Vani Devi, Vani, that one who is in charge of our vachan, of our speech, of our language. You see, our language is the way that we communicate. It's an audio way of us communicating our feelings and communicating our instructions and communicating with others. A very effective way of communicating. When someone is angry, they raise their voices, they can communicate in their language. And you know, even babies, when they babble, it's scientifically proven that's a language that they're speaking. In the caveman days, whatever they said, it was a language they communicated. So it's a very important part and has always been, it's hardwired into us, our communication. And when we communicate with our tongue, even as we spoke of the Ramcharitamanas and Sri Tulsidas Ji in Ramcharitamanas, he himself wrote that those words and the speech, the words that come out of our mouth to communicate in our language, it's controlled by none other than Sri Saraswati Mata. Saraswati Mata, dear devotees, she is the goddess who sits on our tongue. She is the goddess who can help us speak. She is the goddess who helps us communicate via our words, our vachan. And so Vani Devi, Shara Mata, she is the one to bless us. So this morning, let's seek her blessings as we celebrate International Mother Language Day, dear devotees. We recognize the unity and the diversity of the many languages around the world, as we heard in that last election there, of very beautiful, many different languages being sung there. And so, dear devotees, let us now pray to Devi Mata. May she bless us, may she bless all of us, may we speak well, may we use our words correctly and sweetly to communicate with each other as we use our mother languages. Prem Savoroshi Vani Devi Mata Ki Jai. Prem Savoroshi Vani Mata Ki Jai Ho. Jai Sitaram, dear devotees, Swagatam. Welcome back to Sooryoday. It is the morning simulcast on Radio and TV Jaagriti with yours truly, Shiva Janak Maharaj. A very interesting program we had this morning. Very new program, new topic. International Mother Language Day, dear devotees. And we have highlighted our own Trini language, how very important it is to our identity. As teachers, we use code switching, with the British English and our own lexicon, our own language, our Creole language that is part of our mother language here in Trinidad and Tobago. We also spoke of Sanskrit being the mother of all languages. Yes, devotees, Sanskrit is the mother of all languages. It's known as the Indo-European language in linguistics, as we studied at the university. And we also spoke of the Awadhi language, that Hindi, which is in our Sri Ramcharitamanas, being brought by our ancestors, that being brought down to us and preserving our religion through the mother language of Tulsidas Ji at that point in time in Uttar Pradesh, India, dear devotees. And we closed off by noting that Devi Mata Saraswati Vani Devi is the one who controls our speech and our language, devotees, that we use. So it's very important. So devotees, as we celebrate today, the 21st of February, International Mother Language Day. We pray may Mata Saraswati bless each and every one of you as we pray Om Asatoma Satgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamya Mrityorma Amritam Gamya Om Shantihi 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 Harihi Om.